Technology you'll be comfortable with.
Your Land Rover retailer has something else you'll be comfortable with. Great lease rates on a Discovery.
The new two-wheel drive Jeep Grand Cherokee offers impressive power and handling. And with a special introductory lease of just $299 a month, it's no wonder everyone's going out of their way to get a look at it. The $299 a month Grand Cherokee lease.
Get hopping on your holiday shopping with eWord.com and with...
If the old way of buying a car or truck seems frustrating, aggravating, and infuriating, try the Auto Way. It's about no haggling. It's about no pressure. It's about low prices on every window and finance rates you can understand. Tired of the old way? Introducing Auto Way AutoNation USA. It's a better way to get a better price.
Darryl Strawberry of the New York Yankees watching as Warren Sapp came out of the game for the second time and walked into the locker room before the end of the first half. It has been a defensive battle, but it's the Redskins who lead by virtue of a field goal, 3-0. We'll be right back.
You're watching the NFC Divisional Playoff on Fox.
With AT&T Digital One Rate, this isn't just any phone. It's my Hey Rob, how's the patter in Utah phone? My Arctic Red, no make that teal phone. My How Are You Doing in College phone. My Can You Deliver the Piano on Tuesday phone. My Casey Scored a Goal phone.
The world of wireless has changed. AT&T Digital One Rate. No roaming or long-distance charges across 50 states. And now you can have AT&T Digital One Rate starting at $59.99 a month.
Meet Carlos Sandoval, veteran Navy SEAL, trained to go through anything, equipped to survive it. Introducing the Chevy S10 Survival Pack. CD, automatic, air, aluminum wheels. Over $1,300 in savings and $1,250 cash back. You might think that could weaken a Navy SEAL. Fat chance. The Chevy S10 Survival Pack. Like a rock.
Hoover Wind Tunnel Vacuum. Diamond Rio MP3 player. And music to make your time more harmonious. Best Buy. Turn on the fun.
The hells we have lived through and live through still have sharpened our senses and toughened our will. The night has been long. This morning, I looked through your anguish right down to your soul. I know that together we can be made whole. And still we rise.
We understand that some dreams last a lifetime, and that deciding what you want to be when you grow up has nothing to do with age. It's never too late. We understand dreams, and of this we are convinced. The right understanding will lift the dream up. The right relationship will make the dream soar. Am South Bank, the relationship people.
I'm John Wilson, and you're watching the Bucs in the playoffs on Fox 13.
Warren Sapp and the two teams back on the field, and we get ready for the third quarter with the Redskins leading 3-0, and we know that Tony Dungy said he'd be comfortable down 3-0 at this point. How do you look at this chess match so far, Matt?
Well, it's exactly what we kind of expected when you see exactly how that Tampa Bay defense has played so well, and then you look at the Tampa Bay offense, which hasn't been overpowering, and the Washington Redskins defense has been playing better. So right now, I think if you look at that, it's kind of what we expected. Maybe what we haven't expected is that Tampa Bay is staying in third and long situations, and to me, that's kind of a surprise.
Buccaneers trailing 3-0, and a few moments ago, Pam Oliver caught up with the Bucs coach, Tony Dungy.
Okay, thanks a lot, Dick. Tony, first thing, Warren Sapp went into the locker room early with a sprained knee. Can you give me an update?
Yeah, I don't know how he's going to be. He's going to try to go, and we'll see how much. It's just a pain thing. He doesn't have to worry about hurting it, so we'll see.
How do you get some offense going for the second half?
Well, we've got to convert our third downs. I think if we can make some third downs, we'll start to run the ball a little bit better.
All right, thanks, Tony.
All right, and there is the Shaun King, and right now the Buccaneers are 1 for 7 on third down conversions in the game. And this crowd, in a festive atmosphere, the first home playoff game ever in the stadium. A couple of years ago, the Bucs beat the Detroit Lions here in the playoffs and then lost to Green Bay in the NFC Divisional Playoff the following week. Brian Mitchell back as Martin Gramatica, who has had a terrific year as a rookie but has not yet attempted an extra point or a field goal, will kick off for Tampa Bay. And the second half is underway. And Brian Mitchell returning from the goal line for the Redskins. And Mitchell gets into the open field, and Gramatica misses a tackle, and Mitchell still going downfield, and another miss, and Mitchell will go in for the touchdown, and I do not see a flag down. Brian Mitchell, who a few years ago was one of the best at kick returns, brings this back 100 yards for a Redskin touchdown.
And Dick, the key was his matchup on Martin Gramatica, and he didn't waste his time. And this is the style of Brian Mitchell. It's much like the running game of Stephen Davis. Get right upfield. Nice blocks inside. Run past. Now watch him set him up. One little, and then his power. It was nothing more than power. Watch the feet. They stay right there. One man to beat. He outruns that, and then he's in like Flint.
Don Davis was the man who had a shot at him and went after his feet. And Brian Mitchell with a 100-yard kickoff return to stun the crowd as this second half gets underway. The extra point by Conway is good. Mitchell being mobbed by his teammates. And that is a Redskins playoff record. That's an NFL playoff record for kickoff returns, and the Redskins lead 10-0.
Well, the whole thing starts with a wedge. You have to give your running back a chance. Nicely done inside. And then once he can spill out, you always turn one guy over to your kicker. And Brian Mitchell's style is that of straight-ahead power. Watch Martin Gramatica. The rookie kicker gets a dose of Brian Mitchell to the kisser. Nice face, right to the face, just runs right through it. And look at the people in the background. And there's one special teamer to another. There's Turk, the punter, a very happy man.
And the longest kickoff return in NFL postseason history. You remember a few years ago, Desmond Howard returned to kickoff 99 yards against the New England Patriots, and that was beaten today. And the Tampa Bay Buccaneers would like to have a taste of that because they have never had a kickoff return for a touchdown in their history. And this crowd has been silenced dramatically. Brian Mitchell with the great return, and now Tony Dungy looking up at the scoreboard, sees his team down by 10. Conway kicking off, and Warwick Dunn from the 6. Pretty fancy running by Dunn, and he runs into a Redskins sandwich. And a tackle made at the 31-yard line by Mark McMillan and Eddie Mason.
You know, Dick, you're down by 10 points. They've not generated much offense, no offense really in the first half. And the other day, interestingly, I spoke with Tony Dungy. I said, what is it? Well, what's the point spread where you get worried? Is it 10 points? Is it 7 points? He said, no, we're all right with that. 14, that becomes a problem.
They're not far away from 14.
They're not.
Bucs beginning from the 31-yard line. Jacquez Green in motion in the pitch to Warwick Dunn. Nowhere to go, and the Redskins defense, inspired by that kickoff return by Mitchell, and Wilkinson penetrating, got good pressure.
Dan Wilkinson just overpowered the inside and took away any chance of a cutback from Warwick Dunn because he just used his strength right up the field. Watch him. Working on Middleton. Take him. Get rid of the block. Just overpowered him. and just work down the line. And because Cook, outside 75, took away the outside, there's nowhere to go.
And Norv Turner told Pan that he is simply delighted with the way the defense has played thus far. That's understandable, the way they're playing. 2nd down and 12. King's pass and nearly intercepted.
Didn't know it.
And that was Derrick Smith. It was thrown, intended for Jacquez Green, and thrown behind him.
See, he's slapping his head. That's because he had drawn a bead on Green. He never saw the ball. And the ball actually went right through. He had a chance for a pick, and he knows it. Wasted opportunity. Shaun King had a wasted opportunity earlier, and Derrick Smith has a wasted opportunity there.
3rd down and 12 on the Tampa Bay 29. King's pass and overthrown. Darnell McDonald was the intended receiver. So Shaun King a little errant with the accuracy here in his first playoff game. That'll bring up 4th down.
Kurt Emanuel had a different idea. He believed that he was wide open. And based on the fact that there's nobody to the inside of him, he would be able to state a pretty good case. McDonald on the other side was a little upset as well.
Royals with the kick. And there's Brian Mitchell, this time on the punt return at the 22-yard line. And Mitchell gets hit as he crosses the 35-yard line by Fred McAfee. Timeout. The Redskins have the momentum and a 10-point lead.
I said, listen, it never lasts.
Want to get away? Now you can. Fly Southwest Airlines to Fort Lauderdale, Jacksonville, Orlando, or Tampa Bay for $79 or less when you purchase online by February 2nd.
You are now free to move about the country.
This is an ordinary cell phone. This is Nextel, and this is to change the way you do business thanks to Direct Connect, its digital two-way radio feature. Frank, you see it? Not yet. It ensures instant contact. Bridget.
Got it.
Cost a fraction of cellular. It just passed. And it makes other cell phones...
Ready? Now.
Obsolete.
Direct Connect from Nextel. How business gets done.
Head east from the Colosseum. Cross the ruts of chariots, and you'll find an imperial estate built by a 2nd century Caesar. It's a rough ride. And if the agile and durable Chevy Tracker can handle these ancient roads, driving back home will be a walk in the park. If you know where the Tracker is, you could win one. For more Tracker information or to enter, click here. Chevy Tracker. It gets around.
You can turn hopes and dreams into reality when you give through the United Way.
The NFL, the United Way, and you. The power of teamwork.
This Fox NFC Divisional Playoff game is brought to you by Nextel. How business gets done.
Brian Mitchell with his 3rd career kickoff return for a touchdown. First down at the 37-yard line. Stephen Davis, maybe a yard on 1st down. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers now have their starting defensive unit intact. Warren Sapp back out there. Donnie Abraham at cornerback.
You know, we talked about Kip Vickers on that left side and how well he's done. But there's a rookie, John Jansen, on the other side who has had just an outstanding rookie year at offensive tackle. And I believe that's a guy who's going to anchor the right side for a long, long time.
Starter from day one out of Michigan. 2nd down and 9, and on the slant pass, Albert Connell drops the ball. He caught 4 passes for 59 yards in the first half.
Maybe one of the things that surprises me here through the first half is the lack of balls going to Steven Alexander into the middle and the underneath of that defense. Remember earlier we spoke about how this Tampa Bay defense plays their zones with their safeties traditionally deep, and the middle linebacker, Hardy Nickerson, runs deep down the middle. When that does, it creates a void underneath. It's been kind of quiet for Steven Alexander.
With only made one catch. 3rd down and 9. And this time the pass is caught by Irving Fryer, but short of the 1st down. And that will bring up 4th down. And the Redskins will kick.
Dick, remember at the start of the game, we talked about patience? And Brad Johnson said, I know I can be patient. We'll see if Norv Turner can be patient. And I think Norv Turner has been extremely patient. He's sticking with his game plan, and it's working.
Helped out by a great special teams return to give the Redskins a little margin here. So it's 4th down. Matt Turk will kick, and Carl Williams is back deep for the Buccaneers. And another great kick off the foot of Turk, and it will bounce and go out of bounds, and they will mark it at the 5-yard line. So Matt Turk has done his job today. That was a 52-yarder.
Where will you be when your grandson gets his first taste of the ocean? When man walks on Mars? When your children want to discover their heritage? Life is filled with moments you don't want to miss. That's why if you have high cholesterol and heart disease, you should know about Zocor. Zocor is proven to help save lives by reducing the risk of a heart attack. So where will you be tomorrow? That could depend on what you do today. When diet and exercise aren't enough, talk to your doctor about adding Zocor. Zocor is a prescription medication that is not right for everyone, including women who are nursing, pregnant, or may become pregnant, or people with liver problems. Your doctor may do blood tests to check for liver problems, because serious side effects can result. Tell your doctor about any muscle pain or weakness you experience while on Zocor, and about any medicines you are taking. For more information, talk to your doctor or call. Zocor. It's your future. Be there.
You know, you can't accept less from life, because then you'll accept less from your work, and then you'll accept less from your weekends, and the next thing you know, you'll accept less from your beer. And you just can't accept less from your beer, because then you'll start accepting less from guys who install satellite dishes, and you might lose reception during an important football game. And hey, that's just wrong. Ice brewed so there's never any watered-down taste. Ice House. Enjoy.
This telecast is copyrighted by the NFL for the private use of our audience. Any other use of this telecast or of any pictures, descriptions, or accounts of the game without the NFL's consent is prohibited.
Tonight, from amazing chases to good busts gone bad, watch an all-new Cops. Then a young woman is murdered in our nation's capital. Now you have the power to help solve the crime. America's Most Wanted After Cops. It all starts tonight at 8, 7 Central on Fox.
That is a gorgeous live sunset that our crew is giving you. And, of course, you see that all the time in Hockey Doctor, Pennsylvania.
Of course. Let's hope the sun doesn't set on their playoff hopes as Shaun King in the end zone on 1st down completes to Bert Emanuel, who makes his first reception of the game. Not only did the Buccaneers get out of trouble, they bring it out to the 35-yard line.
Darrell Green took a chance. Darrell Green smelled an interception. They went with the play action, but Darrell Green stayed nice and deep. And then notice the nice protection all the way around. Emanuel's working outside. Now watch Darrell Green. He's going to see it. He's going to turn, make the break. He lost it. He thought he had a chance to go for the ball. Actually, he lost him when he spun.
Longest play of the game for the Buccaneers. 30 yards, 1st down. And again, Shaun King looking to throw. He goes underneath to Alstott and holding on. And that's exactly what Derek Smith did to prevent Alstott from dragging him like he used to drag station wagons in high school.
One of the way he liked to push him. And that's an old way actually of training, and it's kind of a good way, Dick, because you get into them and you lower your hips and you assimilate what you do when you're grinding inside.
And these numbers are prior to this possession, and it's been a good one so far. I never even dragged or pushed a station wagon.
You don't even drag or push your luggage anymore.
True. 2nd down and 8 from the 38-yard line. Warwick Dunn trying to spin away, and he can't. And a 2-yard loss. And it was Marco Coleman who penetrated that time. Redskins defense playing, at this point, maybe their best game of the season.
Absolutely. Remember in our pregame with Howie Long was saying that the onus of this defense was on these 2 defensive tackles. That's an excellent job by Dana Stubblefield. He's holding the point. and then Dan Wilkinson came off the backside and took away the cutback, which allowed Coleman to make the play. Excellent defense.
3rd down and 8. Shaun King, and the pass is intercepted, and it's Darrell Green who makes the interception. So Darrell Green, the only player in NFL history to intercept a pass in 17 consecutive years, and that is number 6 in postseason, and the Redskins get a big turnover here.
Watch how Darrell Green keeps everything in front of him so he can see the throw. Once there's a slip, that's all he needed.
I want it to be a new way of looking at things.
I want it to be larger than life. I want it to be a customer magnet.
I want it to be the second industrial revolution.
It should transport me wherever I want to go and take me back to where I came from.
I wanted to level the playing field.
Nortel Networks is building the new high-performance internet to be whatever you want it to be. So tell us, what do you want the internet to be?
A cash cow.
Come together right now over me.
Once I got to the race and started talking to people and started hearing their stories, I think that was the most uplifting part about the whole race for the Q. Once you get around the survivors, and they tell you, well, I've been surviving for 30 years, I've been surviving for 40 years, I found myself caught up and just wanting to talk to everybody and wanting to hear all the stories, because the more you hear the stories, the more encouraged you get. The more encouraged you get, the more you're able to encourage someone else. That's what life is all about.
Is John Cage the one for Allie?
How's it going?
Fine. Why?
Well, I just like to be caught up on where you're at.
Are you dying? All new Allie McBeal, Fox Monday.
Darrell Green, who turns 40 years of age next month, may not be the fastest player in the league anymore, but he is the heartbeat of this defense. Stephen Davis running up the middle, and on 1st down from the Bucs 36-yard line, hit by John Lynch. Darrell Green, with those team records, punctuated his first career playoff game with an interception off of Vince Ferragamo, and he returned it 72 yards as the Redskins won 51-7. That was back in 1983, and here he is 16 years later with another postseason pick.
We saw those most interceptions, most games, most seasons, but what he has is most character. And that's what separates Darrell Green. I love the guy.
Oldest defensive player in the league. And meanwhile, on the pitch and on the end around, Michael Westbrook. And Westbrook is tripped up by the linebacker Shelton Quarles, and no gain on the play. And the Redskins still needing about 3 or 4 yards for the 1st down.
Remember at the start of the game in our pregame show, Howie Long was talking about how this defense runs so well and how it's really hard to run away from them. That time the play was perfectly set up for Michael Westbrook. Got everybody inside except for one man who ran well, Shelton Quarles.
And Eric Zier is warming up on the sideline. Remember, Zier replaced Trent Dilfer. Dilfer came back, got hurt, and Shaun King led the way. 3rd down and 4 on the Bucs 30-yard line. Short drop by Brad Johnson going up top, and in the crowd, the pass is broken up, and it was intended for Westbrook with Donnie Abraham and company there. So that will bring up 4th down.
That wasn't a smart play by Brad Johnson. That was one he did, like you mentioned, he threw it up. And he took a chance of having an interception. That wasn't smart.
Well, Norv Turner started out after the interception in good field position, and now calling on Brett Conway, who made good on a 28-yard field goal earlier. This will be from 48 yards out.
And a little bit of a wind blowing at him.
And you can see the winds affecting that ball, but Conway makes good anyway. And the former Penn Stater with a field goal to add to the Redskins lead. And it's 13-0, and we're getting perilously close, Matt, to Tony Dungy's 14-point deficit, where he really starts to worry.
Dick, I think we're already there.
On turnover.
As opposed to Mexican food. We're actually in the back of our main corporate office. Dad was an original investor into the company. He goes, this is my retirement money you guys are playing with, so make it count. Now that we're growing, what we ran into is a lot of red tape. That's why I leave all the banking to my little brother Mingo. See, he's got the short hair. That's where Merrill Lynch has stepped up. Dom found us the right people at Merrill to help us out. They saw past the shorts and T-shirts. Where else in the world can a Chinese guy sell Mexican food? If this isn't the American dream, I don't know what is.
Coming up next, the Dr. Pepper halftime show.
You made the world taste better, yeah. It makes us feel good. You make the world taste better.
This Bucs NFC Divisional Playoff game is brought to you by Southwest Airlines, proud sponsor of the NFL and official airline of the Super Bowl. By Nortel Networks, we're building the new high-performance internet. By Dr. Pepper and your local Dr. Pepper bottler, Dr. Pepper makes the world taste better. And by Propecia. Talk to your doctor today.
13-0, the Redskins lead on Conway's second field goal. And one of the loudest crowds in an outdoor stadium in the National Football League is dead silent right now as the Redskins strike quickly, taking advantage of the turnover, the interception by Darrell Green, and Warwick Dunn on the return and is dragged by James Thrash out of bounds at the 17. And we told you about Darrell Green back in '83 intercepting this Vince Ferragamo pass.
Well, he came into the league with all the speed and ability to play the corner and take chances, and 16 years later, he's still doing the exact same thing, although the way he plays his defense actually is a little bit better in terms of discipline. Thing about Darrell Green, I was talking to Trent Dilfer just the other day. He said, hey, I was watching ESPN. They were showing these old highlights, and I looked up in 1983. There was Darrell Green, and we're playing him tomorrow.
Well, he looks like a rookie.
Well, he's done.
First down on the screen to Warwick Dunn. Tell you look at the weaknesses of the two teams in the classic matchup, which would be the Tampa Bay offense against the Redskins defense, and unquestionably the Redskins defense is winning that particular battle.
Yes, they are. And the part of the Redskin defense also is aided by, that guy made a great play, Derek Smith. And Warwick Dunn is shaken up. Remember at the start of the game, he had the jam net, and he still went out there and played. I want you to watch Derek Smith. They try to run a screen, and he fights through the blocker and forces this play. Now, he makes the play, not the tackle, but he makes the play. Because of Derek Smith's play, the tackle is made from the inside, right there. Here comes Cook. Here comes Coleman. There's a collision.
Redskins defense has smothered the Tampa Bay attack, and there you see Smith being worked on by the Redskins medical corps. Warwick Dunn, who has gained 15 yards on 8 carries. And Smith is the first man up and walking off. Tomorrow, the second half of the Fox NFL Divisional Playoff, 11:30 Eastern, 8:30 Pacific for a pregame show. It'll be the Vikings and the Rams in what should be an offensive showdown in St. Louis.
You see the NFL's most valuable player in Kurt Warner, but you'll also have a chance to watch the Rams' most valuable player in Marshall Faulk, who, in my opinion, had just a phenomenal year. I don't believe it's any better. The season could be any better than what Marshall Faulk turned in.
So Dunn and Smith go to their respective sidelines. Kurt Govea back for his second tour of duty with the Redskins, has replaced him at linebacker. Tampa Bay's running attack, and Norv Turner said we've got to stop Dunn or Alstott, whoever is hot. Neither one of them is. 19 yards combined between the two.
Now you're down by 2 touchdowns with a young quarterback, and you heard Chris Collinsworth at halftime say he doesn't believe that the young quarterback can get that done. He may be right.
Second down and 10 at the 19-yard line. On the draw, Alstott looking for running room, but Sean Barber is right there. I tell you, the Redskin linebackers don't get much credit, but today they're playing a terrific game.
And that's because, Dick, the interior guys have been playing very, very well. And conversely, not only are the interior tackles playing well in the defense, but the inside three of the Buccaneers is getting whipped. And that's what they had to have. They had to have some push against Stubblefield, Wilkinson, and they haven't been able to do it.
And now the Redskins come in with their pass rushers, Kennard Lang and Dupe Kalu, on 3rd and 10. And the pass to Jacquez Green, trying to wend his way to the 6 and will fall short by about 3.
That play is an NFC Central play.
Bears.
Stolen from Gary Croton, the same guy they said, that offense will never work. But the Bears made that thing work. And this is a great league of copycats, but the Redskins snuffed it.
4th down, and so the Redskins defense stops the Buccaneers, and Brian Mitchell going back as a punt returner. Mark Royals with the kick, and Mitchell will let it bounce, and it takes a Redskin bounce toward midfield. And finally, it is down by the Buccaneers. Well, the air is out of the balloon right now for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and the Redskins hold a 13-0 lead.
Discipline creates performance. As of the most recent calendar year end, the AIM Charter Fund has outperformed the S&P 500 for a 30-year period, something only a handful of mutual funds can claim. The idea is discipline, the purpose is performance, the name is AIM.
Iceberg! There's a headline! Get a grip, man. You're a thumb. You're right. I am a thumb.
At Earthlink, we've created a way to access every last corner of the internet. Oh, man, what have we done? This isn't that bad. It's your internet. We just connected to it. Earthlink and Sprint are internet partners.
Get ready for the shave of your life. Mach 3 from Gillette. It's so fast, so effortless. 3 blades shave progressively closer. You take 1 stroke, it takes 3. So you don't shave over and over. The result? Far less irritation. 3 blades, fewer strokes, less irritation. Once you go to Mach 3, you'll never go back. Mach 3 from Gillette.
Bobby joins the rodeo and shows a side you've never seen before.
Oh, hello there.
An all-new King of the Hill, part of a special hour at 7/6 Central tomorrow on Fox.
Fan who always has sports on your mind, then be sure to check out Sports Geniuses coming to Fox Sports Net this March. It's the new nightly game show that will test your sports IQ. Sports Geniuses, premiering in March only on Fox Sports Net. Check your local listings. And Gary Sheffield, native of this area, so many major leaguers are, of the Los Angeles Dodgers, witnessing this game. Bucs fans cheering on their defense, and on 1st down, they have reason to cheer as Stephen Davis is thrown for a loss by Derrick Brooks.
He's trying to get outside, and Brooks uses his speed. Really been a pretty quiet day for Derrick Brooks. When the Redskins have had success against this Tampa defense, where they've had it has been in the passing game, and where it's been done mostly has been with their occupying of the defenders first and coming in behind them. They've also done a nice job in the offensive line controlling Sapp, Culpepper, Ahanitu, and White.
2nd and 13. Play fake. Brad Johnson going for Connell, and the pass is intercepted. John Lynch brings the ball back to the Buccaneers. And the crowd on its feet, and it's been a while for them.
They're looking for something to get into. Lynch may have given it to him. That ball just floated out there for Brad Johnson. And we can meet Mr. Lynch because of the way this ball's thrown. Look at it. It's just hanging up there. And if you listen real close, you can hear the quack. In fact, I believe it's the quack that got Lynch over there to make that play. That's a good play by Lynch because that's one of the weaknesses of that coverage, trying to get the safety all the way over there.
Lynch intercepted 2 passes in the regular season. Bucs get it back on their 27. Hand off to Alstott. He's not going anywhere. And once again, Dan Wilkinson leading a sea of white shirts, and a loss of 3 yards, and the crowd booing for the first time this afternoon.
Wilkinson has played very, very well today. He has gotten a lot of penetration and gotten up inside, and because of that, you can see what these backs have done. 23 yards, or rather, I'm sorry, 17 yards on 15 carries. Not very good. But conversely, excellent defense by that front four.
You stop both of those backs, you've got a great chance to beat these Buccaneers. 2nd down and 12. Shaun King. And a great catch made by Warwick Dunn out of the backfield. And a little applause from Shaun King with a couple of defenders in his way. A gain of 16 yards.
Well, the whole thing starts with protection. And Pearson, 69, does an excellent job of protecting on Coleman. Watch how he pushes him up and allows King to stay in that pocket. And then this is a matchup that you don't want to get if you're on defense. The linebacker on Warwick Dunn. Warwick Dunn is going to beat you. If he gets time and the quarterback can get him the ball, he will be open.
Dunn was the leading receiver for Tampa Bay this year. Bucs with a first down on their 41, trailing 13-0. King looking to go to the air again, and there's Dave Moore, the underrated tight end who found an open space and gets to the Redskins' 40-yard line before Greg Jones makes the tackle, and the crowd is back, emphatically so.
The crowd is back, and it all comes back to John Lynch. And again, they're well protected. Time to throw. He doesn't have to take the first read. He can come back and throw it underneath to Moore, who runs through a tackle of Gavea and picks up another first down.
And the Tampa Bay Bucs are picking it up yardage-wise this quarter, and it's all inspired by the interception by John Lynch. Let's see if Tampa Bay pays it off or not. First down at the 42. Plenty of time for King, and the pass was way off the mark. Champ Bailey defending Warwick Dunn, who was the intended receiver.
Looks like that ball surprised him a little bit. And it had to surprise him because the Redskins took away anything down the field. They tried to look at Emmanuel deep, but he wasn't there, and he had to come off of that on that play action to try to check it down. Good job of the offensive line of protecting. They haven't gotten any push in the running game, but they've done a pretty good job of protecting King.
Pivotal series for the Buccaneers. They need some points here, trailing 13-0. 2nd down and 10. With under 3 minutes to go in the third quarter, and a deep throw, and they're going to throw the flag on Leamon Evans, and down there it was Warwick Dunn. So they're getting Dunn downfield.
That penalty is just as effective as the completion. In fact, a lot of times you make that throw knowing that that is a distinct possibility. Leamon Evans, defense number 35, first down. Leamon Evans gets his shot at Warwick Dunn. They're just going to turn it into just a straight speed pattern. But you can see it's an excellent call by the official. Evans lost the ball, and he tried to read Warwick Dunn, but he just ran right through him.
So the Buccaneers are in the red zone for the first time in this game, trailing 13-0. They're on the 11-yard line. Shaun King under pressure. And he flips it to Alstott, and Alstott diving for the end zone and appears to be out of bounds before he was able to get over the goal line.
Boy, you talk about a rookie under pressure. That play, Shaun King bought the time. Shaun King made the play with his feet. He looked downfield, wanted to go to the end zone, knew it wasn't there. Now watch him pull it down. He's going to buy a little bit of extra time, knowing that to his left, he has his outlet. Here's his outlet, and watch how he finishes.
Now the Bucs can get a first down without getting a touchdown. Second down and 1. And here is Alstott trying to go outside. They still haven't brought him down. He's going to score.
They took everything away from Alstott at the point. Nowhere to go. But what they forgot is that Alstott is more than a power back. He's a back that can change direction and find the end zone, and he demonstrated it there.
And John Lynch's interception spearheaded the surge by the Buccaneers. And Martin Gramatica with the extra point. And the Redskins lead has been cut to 13-7. The turnover comes back here to haunt the Redskins, and for Mike Alstott, who scored all 7 rushing touchdowns for the Buccaneers this year, this is a big 6 for him.
Remember his signature run a few years ago in Minnesota, where he ran over a couple guys and came back? Well, this is the same kind of thing. You get hit, he keeps on going, and then what people forget is he does have the ability to redirect. He's not a straight-ahead, pure power guy. He certainly has that. But he also has, here's the power, he also has the evasiveness to be able to outrun people. And you know that the linchpin of this whole thing was this man, John Lynch, who got it started with the big interception.
And that was the break that the Buccaneers needed. It got the crowd back into the game, and it got the team back in the game as well.
Excellent game. And now it goes back to Norv Turner. And he has to balance between patience and conservatism, because what he can't do is pull back. Monty Kiffin's defense has been very patient.
Grimacing on the sidelines is Norv Turner. And the kickoff returned by James Thrash. And right now you're looking at an inspired team in red and pewter in Tampa Bay. And remember when Tony Dungy said, I am comfortable being behind going into the fourth quarter of games, and he's going to get his chance. The key play was the momentum breaker, the interception by John Lynch on this pass intended for Albert Connell, and the first turnover committed by the Redskins, and the Buccaneers came down and scored and trailed by 6.
Alsherman Singleton, a little banged up, looks like he's looking at that right ankle or foot. Guy out of Temple. Mike Alstott. They really bottled both he and Dunn up in the running game. But where the bottle was emptied was in the passing game to Warwick Dunn outside.
Lynch now at strong safety, and Warren Sapp trying to keep the crowd in the game. He doesn't have to try much.
Man never changes. Tony Dungy is always in control.
Redskins with a first down on their 22. Brad Johnson and Connell trying to make the diving catch. Incomplete. Second down coming up. Let's take a look at what the Redskins have done in their second half possessions. They have punted, made good on a field goal following the interception by Darrell Green, and then the interception thrown by Brad Johnson that the Bucs went in and scored. Don't forget, they also returned the second half kickoff 100 yards, Brian Mitchell for a TD.
That's why I say with a total of 9 yards there in the third quarter, you can't get conservative.
Stephen Davis in motion to the right on 2nd and 10. Johnson's pass intended for Alexander, incomplete. Quarles downfield defending.
And they're starting to get a little pressure inside. Starting to get a little bit of push and making Brad Johnson get out of his comfort zone of sitting inside in that pocket.
1 for 6 for only 5 yards and an interception here in the second half.
3rd and long.
Alexander goes out of the game for a 3rd wide receiver, Irving Fryar. Pressure on Johnson on 3rd and 10. He gets hit but completes the pass to Mitchell, but he is stopped well short of the first down by this inspired Tampa Bay defense.
Took everything away down the field. Got the pressure and forced him to have to dump it underneath, and then you just get to the football. It's good, solid, basic defense, but it happens because you only have to rush 4 people and still get pressure, as you see down here.
Matt Turk will punt from the 15-yard line. And Carl Williams makes the diving catch, and that wind is playing havoc today. And the Buccaneers will have good field position, as we want to remind you that our overhead shots are courtesy of Goodyear, and our blimp is the Goodyear blimp Stars and Stripes from Pompano Beach, Florida. And our thanks to the pilot and crew on board providing us with these aerial shots. We saw a great sunset, and now it is nighttime in the Tampa Bay area, and 55 seconds away from the 4th quarter with the Redskins leading 13-7.
Well, we talked about Shaun King. You can see right there, 3-1, and that just goes to speak about his ability to have great poise.
12-0 in his senior year at Tulane. From the 40-yard line, King looking to throw on first down. Moore, incomplete.
Good coverage, but again, the Redskins have not gotten pressure on Shaun King. And Mike Shula, the offensive coordinator, in the last 2 series has said, okay, we're not going to run the football. Forget it. If you're going to take away the running game, we'll start throwing the ball until you have to give us coverage, and then we'll pound the football.
Redskins do not have any sacks today, but their team unit has played well at this point. 2nd and 10 to the 40-yard line. Here's Alstott, head down, and he gets about a yard. 3rd down and 9 coming up. Warwick Dunn, who was on the sidelines, and as you mentioned, Matt, has been a threat as a deep pass receiver in the last series, comes back into the game, replacing Alstott.
Well, they've tried to cover him with the safety, and you saw the interference call, and they've tried to cover with the linebacker. You've seen him beat him. He creates problems, much like what happens with Marshall Faulk, who he has a great amount of respect for.
Yes, he does. Shaun King, like Brad Johnson, has thrown 1 interception. 3rd down and 8. King stays in the pocket, and his pass through McDonald is overthrown. So a 4th down coming up, and before that, before the kick, that is the end of the 3rd quarter with the score, the Redskins 13 and the Buccaneers 7. Fox NFL Sunday will continue right after these messages.
NFC Divisional Playoff on Fox.
The new two-wheel drive Jeep Grand Cherokee offers impressive power and handling. And with a special introductory lease of just $299 a month, it's no wonder everyone's going out of their way to get a look at it. The $299 a month Grand Cherokee lease.
Get hopping on your holiday shopping with eWord.com and with...
Attention, Buccaneers fans. Season tickets for the 2000 season will be on sale all day Monday at Raymond James Stadium from 12 noon until 9 p.m. so you can pick your exact seat location. Remember, should the Buccaneers play in the NFC Championship game at Raymond James Stadium, all new season ticket holders will be guaranteed the right to purchase tickets to the championship game. For more information, check your local sports section or visit Buccaneers.com and feel the power.
These days, there are all sorts of cute little compact SUVs running around. And lots of monsters lumbering about. But Doc Durango is different. Roomier than the little ones, more manageable than the huge ones. The just right sized Durango. Perfectly positioned between the toys and the tanks.
Now lease a Dodge Durango for $345 a month.
I'm Chip Carter. You're watching the Bucs in the playoffs on Fox 13.
We begin the fourth quarter. There has been one offensive touchdown. That's scored by the Buccaneers as the Redskins lead 13-7. Fourth down, and Mark Royals will kick. Brian Mitchell back deep for Washington. And a short kick, and Mitchell on the run, returning, and a hit and down at the 28-yard line. Well, the Redskins lead here by a score of 13-7, and Tony Dungy could say we have them where we want them. We're down by 6.
Yeah, but also, that's what Norv Turner said, too. He said, if it's close going into the fourth quarter, we're going to win this football game. Tony Dungy said the exact same thing. But I think the biggest thing is right now you have a lot of emotion back into the game. Listen to it. You can hear the crowd starting to come on. This defense has started to come on for Tampa, and it's going to be a great one. I'm fired up.
First down, and the handoff to Stephen Davis. The Redskins have never lost after leading after 3 quarters in their playoff history. They are 20-0 after leading after 3 quarters. And, man, I know you were part of a lot of those games.
Yeah, it was a big part of that thing, and it was a lot of fun. And it's fun when you start getting your good players playing well. And Warren Sapp is starting to tune it up a little bit down there.
Second down and 10. Brad Johnson taking the deep drop, setting up the screen, and the pass is caught, and a flag is down. Irving Fryer got hit by Quarles, but there is a flag down in what has been a game with very few penalties.
Well, what's happened here, and this is going to go against Tampa Bay, but what I can see has happened here in the second half is the Tampa defensive front has picked up the pace. And it's given pressure now to Brad Johnson. He has not been able to push the ball down the field in the second half.
Face mask call. Obviously not pleased. Tony Dungy. Buccaneers second in the NFL with the fewest penalties.
Another reflection of the head coach.
This is the first penalty against the Buccaneers today. It comes in the fourth quarter. Dick Hantak.
Personal foul. Face mask. Defense, 53. 15 yards, first down.
That's a big one, too. Shelton Quarles, maybe after the catch by Fryer.
Well, here's Shelton Quarles right here. I think they're trying to say that that's the face mask right there on Alexander, but it looks like he missed it.
15-yard penalty marked off gives the Redskins good position now on their 46. Stephen Davis is buried by Derrick Brooks, and a loss of 2 yards, and one of the hardest hits we've seen today.
We talked about the patience that it has to come from the sideline of the offense. But let's not forget the patience of the defense in Monty Kiffin. And here they come. And what they're bringing is a couple of run blitzes. And that time was an excellent read by Derrick Brooks, who came, saw the void, and essentially a good linebacker becomes a running back. He reads the same things with those eyes, ends up with a great pop.
And he's headed to the Pro Bowl once again for the third straight year. So it'll be 2nd and 12. Skip Hicks has come in at running back for the first time today for the Redskins. Hicks and Stephen Davis battled in preseason to win the job, and Davis won, and the rest is history. Play fake to Hicks. Johnson fumbles. Loose ball. Warren Sapp. He's got it. And now they're pointing Washington's way. First contact went one way with it, and now it's the clock. I think Tampa Bay's got the ball. Warren Sapp, but not after Steve White forced the fumble.
White just beat him with speed around the corner. And because they had coverage down the field, he was able to smack that ball, and the ball's out. Watch Warren Sapp. He first thought about trying to be a hero, but then he thought he better just get it. Look at this. Nicely done around the corner on Vickers. Slaps it from behind, and the Bucs are back in.
Sapp showing no ill effects of that injury that sent him to the locker room in the second quarter. So a first down at the 32-yard line. And now Shaun King is sacked, and a huge loss of over 10 yards or close to it by Dana Stubblefield, and that's a 10-yard setback for the Bucs.
And also took him out of field goal range, but they should thank Shaun Barber, because Shaun Barber jumped the underneath coverage, and he had no place to throw. Had to pull that ball down. 42. Good coverage out in the flat, and then Stubblefield's able to come off. See, right here. This is what they're going to try to get to. Barber comes over, and he gets down in this flat. No place to throw.
Big play by the defense coming right back after that unfortunate play for Washington on the fumble. 2nd and 20. Design sprint out. King. Bobble and a catch. Bert Emanuel's got it. And they get a lot of those yards back. They'll be short by about 4. Mark McMillan on the hit on Bert Emanuel.
I was waiting for this from Mike Shula, the offensive coordinator. Move the pocket. Move the pocket. Buy some time. Stretch the field. When you start moving your quarterback, that really puts pressure on you defensively in your zones. And you really have to have excellent discipline. And if you don't, holes open up. Shaun King took advantage of one of those holes.
And the Bucs are back in field goal range. 3rd down and 3 on the 25. King. And King is going to fumble, and it's picked up by Warren Dunn. And Dunn will have the first down for Tampa Bay on a broken play. Shaun Barber forced the fumble, and Dunn picks it up. And a big play for Tampa Bay on 3rd down.
He was looking down the field for Yatil Green. It wasn't there. And then Darryl Green stayed on Green. No place to go with the ball. And then Shaun Barber slapped the ball away. But look at the heads-up play. Warwick Dunn. It was all because of the pressure, or the coverage rather, by Darryl Green on Jaquez Green that forced him to have to come back.
First down, and here is Warwick Dunn trying to work his way in for tough yards, and Dunn, nothing there. Marco Coleman on the tackle.
What a big play, Dunn. If you look back in today's game, to this point, all the big plays that happened by this Tampa Bay offense have been Warwick Dunn. The interference call, the throw earlier right after Lynch's interception to get another first down, and that one was a monster. It was a
very alert play.
Yeah, not only that, but I mean, it could have been a disaster. Ball's on the ground. Dunn, because he's trailing, much like Franco Harris, just running to the football. You pick it up. Good hustle. Turned in a big play.
And an 88-1 edge this half by the Buccaneers. So they have turned it around, but still trail the Redskins by 6. Shaun King to, guess who, Warwick Dunn again, and Dunn tackled close to first down yardage inside the 10-yard line by Derrick Smith. Maybe short by a yard, and shaken up early. Warwick Dunn has come back big here in the second half.
Well, yesterday, as we were watching the film, and we spoke with Tony Dungy, Richie Zients, our producer, said, you know what, Warwick Dunn's going to make some big plays tomorrow. And Tony Dungy agreed with him, and they were both right.
That's why Richie's going to be an assistant coach with this team next year.
Exactly right.
Two tight ends on 3rd and 1. Alstott very close to the 6. And the Buccaneers trying to control the ball. Warwick Dunn has come up big here in the second half.
Much like Darryl Green, man with great character. You know the story of his mother. I was shot in the line of duty, and he has been raising his brothers and sisters. And it's not been an easy thing for him. He's had to learn how to be a big brother and a father and a provider all at one thing. And I have a great amount of respect for that man, Warwick Dunn.
Measuring for the first down, and the Buccaneers are short by a yard, it appears. So it'll be 4th down and 1.
All game long, this defensive front of the Washington Redskins has taken away the run. Shaun King is shaking him off, saying, let's go for it.
4th down and 1.
And they're going to go for it. Now this is the defining play of this game, Dick.
Still plenty of time remaining. 9:15 to go. Warren Sapp looking at the crowd, not on the field. He's the maestro here. Alstott. The tailback with Kevin McLeod blocking up front. And the give is to Alstott. Got the first down and gets inside the 5.
That was good, smart offense. Nice call by Mike Shula.
And George Diaz with a good block up front.
You see how they tried to take away the inside? Watch the Redskins. They're going to push it right inside. Now watch. Diaz comes outside. They knew that was going to happen, so just bounce it outside. Still use the power if you have to, but you know you have Sapp on the sideline with that defense ready to make big plays.
Redskins lead by 6, but that lead is in jeopardy. The Buccaneers with a 1st and goal on the 3. Again with 2 tight ends, and King will throw out of the tight formation, getting rushed, and very smartly throws it away.
Good coverage. Nicely done by Derrick Smith. On McLeod trying to get out into the flat right away. Took that away. Jumped his coverage. Nothing there. Watch McLeod. He's going to try to come outside. Derrick Smith read it perfectly. He'll take his coverage. Nicely done on the tight end right here. Beautifully done. Nowhere to go. Throws it into the stand.
2nd down and goal. And Dunn is back in at tailback. And they go to Warwick Dunn. Dunn spins away and gets to the 1-yard line. Bringing up 3rd and goal from the 1-yard line. And again, the Redskins don't let the Bucs get in there. Leamon Evans with a big play.
That was big because he held on to the only thing he could, which was one leg.
And limping off now is Dunn. This is several times today the Buccaneers stars, Sapp on the defensive side, and Dunn on the offensive side have had to come out.
Watch the spin right here. There's the spin. He comes out of it, but watch the bottom of it. Leamon Evans holding on. He's not letting that thing go.
So again, it's Alstott, the tailback. McLeod, the blocking back. From the 1, 3rd and goal. Play fake, and King, touchdown to John Davis, the tight end.
What a phenomenal play by the rookie, Shaun King, who says this game does not get bigger than me. This is why I am unflappable. I love the pressure, and there's why. He sees it. Kalu comes right to his face, and he just dumps it off, and Davis scores going away.
And the score is tied, 13-13, and Martin Dramatica comes in, and a flag is down. The kick is good, but there is a penalty. And John Davis, in the regular season, caught 2 passes, one of them for a touchdown. And he is 1 for 1 in this game. And Shaun King, the rookie, with a big play and the flag down. And apparently it is against the Redskins.
Unsportsmanlike conduct. Defense leaping. 15 yards will be administered on the kickoff.
So the extra point is good, and the Buccaneers lead 14-13. John Davis with the touchdown catch, and the 2 defensive aces on the sideline.
New Dakota Quad Cab comes with a nice big bed and big back doors that lead to a great big cab for putting things you don't want outside, inside, and vice versa. Inside, outside, inside, outside, inside, outside, inside. Oops, that's better. Outside. Dodge Dakota Quad Cab. Big room, big doors, big difference.
I need my light.
What light?
The light I ordered on your website.
This isn't a website. This is the store site.
You mean I can't get my light?
Not at this site.
Same store, same lights.
Different system, different sites.
I came in here because I thought I might...
Find the same things that were on the website.
Doesn't that seem right?
Now, in hindsight, if the site was tied to the website, then it would be easy for us to give you your light. Excellent insight, Dwight.
Forget it.
One company, one place for information. Now there's an idea.
Good night. So I had fun. That's how I'll call you.
Yeah, okay.
Well, hey. Next time I'll remember to bring enough cash for both of us.
Next time, use the Visa check card instead of cash. It's fast, easy, and accepted everywhere Visa is, so you can get what you need and get on with life.
This Bucs NFC Divisional Playoff game is brought to you by Dodge. In a perfect world, everything would be different. By Visa, the preferred card of the NFL, and Super Bowl 34. It's everywhere NFL fans want to be. By DirecTV, what are you looking at? And by IBM, are you ready for e-business?
Tampa Bay Buccaneers, who dropped their opening home game of the year to the Giants and then reeled off 7 straight, leading for the first time today on a 10-play, 68-yard drive. They have scored 2 touchdowns off of turnovers as John Davis catching the pass from Shaun King, and now Brad Johnson and the Redskins have to go to work in what has been really a game of 2 different halves, although Brian Mitchell's kickoff return did happen here in the third quarter, in the third quarter.
But defensively, it's been a different Bucs defense in the second half. They've stuffed this Redskin offense.
James Thrash and a bobble on the kickoff return, and the Redskins with Mike Sellers have to settle for possession on the 11-yard line. But you're right, Matt. Tampa Bay's defense making the big plays, and an alert play by Dunn. Davis getting the touchdown. Tampa Bay by 1. We'll be right back.
Hello? Yo, who's that? Yo, it's Dick. Hello? Yo, it's Dick.
My first bus was a little 29-passenger bus. Of all the buses I ever owned, it's the one bus I wish I could have hung on to. Woody has had a plan from the very beginning about his business, and he's been disciplined to stick to the plan. Tony and I started having lunch about 1979. We started out, there was a little carousing going on down there. That's right. Tony represents Merrill Lynch to me. We understand that investing is really best when it's putting your heads together and realizing that you're partners. That's where my first bus company was, right here on the left. It's rather humble, wasn't it?
Last Sunday, over 31 million viewers turned Malcolm in the Middle into television's newest hit.
Don't you dare.
Dad, do something.
What do you think you're doing?
Being cute and spontaneous?
The LA Times says, get ready to howl. And Time Magazine says it's full of belly laughs.
Cousin Nancy doesn't have another.
She has two daddies.
Two guys as your parents? That house has got to be a dude's paradise.
An all-new Malcolm in the Middle, tomorrow at 8:30, 7:30 Central on Fox.
Fox Sunday. Enter a world of illusion.
Mulder, his head was cut off.
Abracadabra, man.
The X-Files. All new tomorrow at 9, 8 Central on Fox.
Well, right now, the man who would be king in Tampa would be Shaun King. But, you know, Warren Sapp would have to be right up there on the throne with him. He's a prince. Stephen Davis in the game and play action from the 11-yard line. And this pass caught by Davis out of the backfield. And it looks like another Redskins first down. The key play set up by the defense. Steve White forces the fumble from Johnson, recovered by Sapp. Now King fumbled, and an alert Warwick Dunn scampered with the ball. On 4th and 1, Mike Alstott got the necessary yardage, and then the touchdown pass to Davis and the Buccaneers, who were trailing 13-0. At one point, lead by 1 now.
Warwick Dunn, that was a phenomenal play in picking up that fumble.
First down at the 21, and unable to hold on to it is Alexander, and he has John Lynch all over him.
He has played an exceptional game, has John Lynch. He's had his coverage. He's made the interception. We've shown you how he's dropped down in the 8-man front, has been unaccounted for. He's played a whale of a football game, as has in the second half the front four. And they're starting to get pressure without any blitzes. And that makes calling defense a lot easier.
Second down and 10. Brad Johnson. And holding on to it is Larry Centers. He hasn't done that much today. He was the focal point last week against Detroit. And 4 yards loss on the play.
You know, I'm just watching Stephen Davis limp off the field. And let's just take a look at those feet, because what you're seeing is a little bit of gingerly steps going on out there. In fact, he's hobbled right off the field.
Gamely playing on an injured ankle and knee. 3rd down and 14. Johnson gets protection, and this pass broken up. Westbrook was the intended receiver, and Donnie Abraham was there to knock it away. And now the Tampa Bay defense playing with a lot more confidence than they did in the first half.
Boy, it's like the zones have just shrunk up here in the second half. And they're able to do it again because Monty Kiffin, the defensive coordinator, is getting great pressure out of his front four. And there's no place to throw the ball back there.
4th down, and Matt Turk shanks it. And Carl Williams will let it bounce. And it doesn't turn out all that bad for the Redskins, as it is downed at the 35-yard line. They got 48 out of it. That's the guru of the Buccaneers defense, their coordinator, Monty Kiffin.
The World Wide Web. 40 million sites. 800 million pages. 60 billion words. And one search engine that prioritizes, categorizes, and organizes it into neat little folders. Northern Lights, just what you've been searching for.
Look, Howie, your favorite. Miss, how can this cost more than $1? It's a piece of rope.
You can't get anything for $1 these days.
I get a 20-minute call for only 99 cents.
Have you been standing near the catnip?
Oh, he's talking about 10-10-220. It's only 99 cents for all calls up to 20 minutes and just 7 cents a minute after that.
All day, every day.
That's cheap.
Oh, yeah. And the best part is no monthly fees. No monthly fees.
Good. Those can be very irritating.
Dial 10-10-220.
Yeah, through the door. But the more money we come across, the more money we see. I'm coming over.
Come on, Pablo, we see. Hey,
NFL Under the Helmet mixes music and football. Join hosts Ron Pitts and Jill Arrington Saturdays at noon Eastern on Fox.
Ah, the great outdoors. It's beautiful.
Yeah, and I bet it tastes beautiful, too.
An all-new That 70 show at 8/7 Central, Fox Tuesday.
In just 2 weeks from now, the Old Madden team returns to the battlefield. January 30th, it's the one and only blockbuster 17th annual Old Madden team, 1 p.m. Eastern, 10 a.m. Pacific, right here on Fox.
And you know, I don't know if people know this, but I'm on the official All Madden payroll as an All Madden scout. Benefits are phenomenal. Anytime you can get on that bus and eat the way we do,
tremendous.
Doesn't get any better.
Go coast to coast on that bus. Better than that.
I can eat from Allentown to Cleveland.
Timeout called by, wait a second, that's not that far.
All right, make it Denver.
Timeout called, and the Bucs with their first timeout of the second half. We'll be right back.
What are you looking at, cable? Just getting good. Ah, DirecTV. Hey, everybody. This is Tim. Well, DirecTV's got all your favorite cable channels. Plus, now you get 2 free months of 32 premium movie channels, including 7 HBO, 4 Stars, and 5 Showtime channels with no long-term commitment. DirecTV. What are you looking at?
Hello, Ms. Gruber. Can I interest you in some wonderful opportunities in the stock? Ms. Gruber?
It's time for E-Trade, the #1 place to invest online.
Dodge Dakota brings you a startling new advancement. Doors, great big ones, on the driver's side and the passenger side, each with windows that go all the way down. So what's the big deal about 2 great big wide opening doors? Nothing. But 4 is a different story. Real truck, real doors. Dodge Dakota Quad Cab. Different.
Clark becomes a faith healer.
Satan, eat my shorts!
I see the light that burns!
And all new Simpsons at 8/7 Central tomorrow on Fox.
5:35 to go in the fourth. The Bucs lead by 1. And how much has John Lynch's interception been a factor right now?
Oh, it's a monster. And we said it right at the time. That could turn things around. And because of the emotion of the crowd and the fiery play of the defense since that thing, that play has been the pivotal play of this game.
Warwick Dunn is the tailback on first down from the 35. And Dunn with the handoff and picked up about 2.
The Bucs would like to get at least 3 more points out of this to turn it into a 4-point game. Because knowing their defense and knowing the attitude of Monty Kiffin, their defensive coordinator, they believe that there's no way that this Washington Redskins team is going to drive for a touchdown. Heck, they haven't done it all day. Offensively, all they've scored is 6 points. The other 7 have come from the kickoff return.
Trent Dilfer, who went down with a broken clavicle in the game at Seattle, and he has been a big supporter of Shaun King. 4-1 as a starter coming into this one. 2nd down and 9, and the handoff to Alstott. And right there was Marco Coleman. And a loss on the play of 4 yards.
I think this is the best I've seen that front 4 play all season. Stubblefield played solid inside. Dan Wilkinson's had an excellent game. Coleman's been there a bunch. They've played very good on defense.
And the Buccaneers in no hurry here. You know, they'll rely on their defense. They lead by 1. Tampa Bay 0 for 8 when they've needed 5 yards or more on 3rd down. They had 13.
That goes back to what we said from the beginning. They needed to keep it 3rd and short, 5 or less.
And King goes underneath, and the tackle. And this is where Tony Dungy didn't necessarily want to gamble for the big yardage because he is content to kick and hand it over to his defense with under 4 minutes to go.
Well, if you step back and look at the way this game is going, the Bucs defense in the first half was on their heels a little bit. Norv Turner and that offense, led by Brad Johnson, had them kind of on the ropes. But at halftime, the adjustments, the biggest adjustment is just their front four turning it up. They're playing much better than they did early. And if you look at that, you've got to say that this Redskin offense hasn't done squat here in the second half.
Royals punting for the 10th time, and that is a club record. Brian Mitchell backbeat. And Mitchell getting set to return this kick. And a flag is down, and Mitchell hitting the ground immediately, and now another penalty marker thrown.
There's one all the way back.
Damian Robinson limping.
Yeah, and James Thrash, they got tangled up on the starting end of that thing.
Well, Thrash looks the better of it right now than does Damian Robinson.
I couldn't tell who took the takedown. I couldn't tell if Thrash held him and slammed him or Robinson took it and did a throw himself. It goes to Damian Robinson. Almost looks like a wrestling hip toss. Right here.
There's one foul on the play. Holding offense, number 24, during the kick. There was no foul during the return. 10-yard penalty, retry, 4th down.
Personally, I think that should have gone the other way. Thrash, see, when you're rushing the punt like that and you're responsible for a man, you don't want to let him out. And so as you take off and you rush this punt, watch Damian Robinson, 24. See, Thrash has it, and he's trying to pin Robinson so he can't get down in the coverage. But in fact, Robinson even throws his hands up at the end. But the official throws the flag. You see that underhook there by Thrash? Actually a pretty good throw.
So now it is 4th down again, and Royals will kick. Now the Redskins are looking at far better field position as Mitchell standing on the 30-yard line.
Mike Sellers jumped. Of course, the point drill is going on inside. Keep in mind, at the 3:14 mark.
Defense, number 45. 5-yard penalty. Still 4th down.
At the 3:14 mark in this game, you throw it all out. All you're going to have, you have your timeouts. Timeouts don't really, you have to be able, you got to get some points. And the chances are you may not get the ball back again. So it'll be interesting to see if Norv Turner goes ahead and starts going to 4 down.
Well, it's going to be in the hands of Brad Johnson when he gets back on the field as the Royals finally kicks, and a wobbly kick, not a good one, and Mitchell on the 35-yard line tripped up in a fine open field tackle by Floyd Young. It's been a comeback game for the Buccaneers, who were down 13-0 at one time, and it all started right here with the interception by John Lynch. And the Buccaneers scoring, Mike Alstott going out of the pack and getting the touchdown. The first offensive score of the game by either team, and then the fumble caused by Steve White, recovered by Warren Sapp, and then King, before he got hit, finds John Davis, and the go-ahead score. The Bucs lead by 1 with 3:05 remaining, and a first down on the 38-yard line, and the swing pass to Skip Hicks. And the second-year back out of UCLA picking up about 5 or 6 yards with Rondy Barber defending.
It's been a quiet day, really, for the White House, but Michael Westbrook in particular, with one catch. His main role early in the game was to clear out for Connell.
Second down and 4. Brad Johnson's pass, and deflected by Ronde Barber and caught but out of bounds for an incomplete pass. Pretty good job of stepping up. They're feeling the pressure from the backside. Marcus Jones, but they just step up and make that throw. Boy, this is really well-played defense. This is as good a zone defense that I have seen. And this is what the Buccaneers bring to the dance.
It's not complicated. It's just well-played.
3rd and 4 with under 3 minutes to go in the 4th. And the pass to Centers. And Larry Centers appears to have a first down, and he does. And Brad Johnson wants the team together. They want to hurry it up here, knowing that a field goal would put them in the lead again. Looks like the offense did take a shot down there that Barber broke up, but it looks like they're going to be patient just to move it methodically down the field, and they should. First down, again, they swing it out to Skip Hicks. And Hicks avoids Ronde Barber and gets close to the first down. And he may have it, and he does, to the 40-yard line of Tampa Bay. The Redskins still with 3 timeouts remaining, and the Bucs with only 2.
And did you see how Skip Hicks finished that run? He got the pass, he turned the corner, got the first, and then lowered his shoulder at the end on Damian Robinson. Ran right by Ronde Barber, but lowered the boom on Robinson.
Brett Conway, whose career-long field goal is 51 yards. That's all the Redskins need to regain the lead. Have a first down on the Bucs 40. Hand off Larry Centers in a rare running play for Centers, and he picks up nearly 8 yards.
That was an excellent call, and good job of anticipating what Monty Kiffin was going to do, because they came on a blitz. Watch, he's coming up inside. So they're going to take this thing and run it right inside and use that blitz against them.
2-minute warning here in the 4th quarter. We'll be right back.
This Fox NFC Divisional Playoff game is brought to you by Miller Lite. Taste a true Pilsner.
Hey, Michael, John here. I'm hanging out, having a beer. How come you don't come down?
Man, I'm doing the same thing as you. Why don't you come over here? I mean, the Miller Lite is ice cold and so smooth.
Oh, come on, man. From where I'm sitting, the Miller Lite tastes great.
Yeah, but the women are prettier over here. Trust me on that.
I find that very hard to believe.
And you guys call yourselves detectives.
Miller Lite. Taste the true Pilsner.
You know, we're kind of off duty right now. You know.
Hi.
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 Whoa.
Oh, you want a race?
It's a fact. A Whopper has 40 grams of fat, but Subway has 7 delicious sandwiches with 6 grams of fat or less. To burn off those extra grams of fat, you'd have to do 1,785 jumping jacks. Subway, it's the way a sandwich should be.
Doing the presidential mambo. Mad TV, late night tonight on Fox.
Enter the world of illusion,
This will be my greatest show ever.
where every secret,
I think we're being led around by our noses.
every deception
We're dealing with powerful forces at work here.
isn't what it seems.
Mulder, his head was cut off.
You look familiar to you, Scully?
The X-Files.
Plot thickens.
All new tomorrow at 9, 8 Central on Fox.
It's nail-biting time. 2 minutes to go in the 4th. The Bucs by 1, and both coaches kind of anticipated this scenario down the stretch.
And they both felt comfortable with a close game at the end. Both believed they could win them.
Skip Hicks is the running back. Stephen Davis out of there. 2nd down and 3 for Brad Johnson. And this pass thrown away. It was intended for Westbrook. And will bring up 3rd and 3.
Nicely done again on the backside. Kip Vickers was beat by Stephen White. Remember earlier, White was the one that forced the fumble that turned this thing around.
Norv Turner's record not at all anything to brag about in close games. 6-17 in games decided by 3 points or less. 3rd and 3 coming up at the 33.
Remember, this is 4 downs here.
And the handoff to Skip Hicks, nothing there. So it'll be 4th down. And remember, Conway's career long is 51 yards, and he starts to walk on. Warren Sapp made this tackle.
Oh, this is a tough one right here. If you try to go for it, miss it, you're not going to get another shot. You have to take your shot.
So here is Brett Conway, who has kicked 2 field goals today. The first from 28 yards to give the Redskins a 3-0 lead in the second, and then a 48-yarder after Darrell Green's interception. So this is for the lead for the Redskins, and it would match his career long of 51 yards. And now the Buccaneers will try to ice Conway with a timeout.
Remember, he kicked one earlier into the wind. Now he has the wind at his back.
I guess after last week's Tennessee-Buffalo game, it doesn't matter.
Yogi had it right.
Over, right?
It ain't over till it's over. It's been a well-played defensive game today, Jim. And both coaches believed it would be close. Both of them were comfortable with it coming down to the end. Both of them had confidence in thinking that they could win a close football game.
And the winner of this game will move on to the NFC Championship game on Fox a week from tomorrow. Brad Johnson is the holder. The quarterback, Brad Johnson, is holding. This is a 51-yard attempt. And out of necessity, nobody have to throw the ball, and the pass is broken up. It was a bad snap from center, and Brad Johnson looking to throw, but nobody went downfield. And Dan Turk, the long snapper, did not get the job done. And these problems, Matt, started in week 1 against the Dallas Cowboys.
I mentioned nobody went. When this ball is a bad call, you have a hot call. Brad Johnson has to yell hot. And when that happens, both the tight ends and the wings have to go out for a pass. Sellers is the only one that went out, but it was half-hearted. He had no one else to throw the football to. These guys become eligible, as well as the tight ends inside. And the kicker, they're all eligible. No reaction. Jenkins finally goes out, but it's too late.
You know, in the back of my mind, when I saw Brad Johnson, who's a normal holder, I said maybe they'll fake this for the 3 yards and get the first down. So now taking over the Buccaneers and Mike Alstott turning the corner as we wind down to a minute remaining. So Dan Turk with an errant snap from center, and the reaction of the Glazier family in their booth. But when you look at Dan Snyder, the owner of the Redskins, a different view, and John Lynch with Trent Dilfer, and the Buccaneers maintain their 14-13 lead with 59 seconds to go.
Now this one's over.
Consoling Dan Turk over there, and the Redskins using up their first timeout. And that's Matt Turk, his brother, consoling him as the Redskins in position to take the lead. Conway attempting a 51-yard field goal, and it never got underway.
Well, you never know. You never know what the heck's going to happen.
This year?
Yeah, ever, really. And boy, this year was a humdinger, wasn't it?
Yep.
But it comes down in every game situation. And it goes back to what you practice every week. And every week you practice that hot call. And every week you get out. And when you never know when it's going to happen. And there it happened, and they flopped.
2nd down and 4, and they give it to Alstott. And Alstott edges his way in territory, and the Redskins call their second timeout. Well, it's been an enjoyable year and an exciting game to finish out, Matt, and our crew has done a marvelous job, and I'm proud of every one of them, as I know you and Pam Oliver are. Today's game produced by Richard Zients and directed by Artie Kempner. You won't find two better. The associate director, Greg Scopatoni, the broadcast associates, Jacob Ullman, Derek Manning, and Adrian Hassenmeyer. The technical producer, Dean Walker, and his outstanding crew. The pregame show was produced by Scott Ackerson and directed by Bob Levy. The senior producer is Bill Brown, and the executive producers of Fox Sports are Ed Gorin and David Hill. And that was the third and final timeout by the Redskins.
I was surprised they just didn't take a knee. This one's history. Why would they even waste their time with attempting that there could be a fumble?
Shaun King will hand it off again to Alstott. Trying to stay in bounds. He does more than that. He gets the first down as well, and that's all she wrote. Tampa Bay is going to win and move on to the NFC Championship game.
Well, there were so many big plays and pivotal plays that happened in this game. You think back on the Steve White sack for a fumble. The Warwick Dunn picking up of a fumble and getting a first. The critical 4th and 1 that Alstott picked up. Lots of big plays, but to me, the key for this game was the defense in the second half for Tampa Bay. They picked it up.
And sparked by John Lynch's interception. So the game is over, and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, after trailing 13-0, advance to the NFC title game with a 14-13 win over the Redskins. Let's go down on the field to Pam Oliver with John Lynch.
Okay, thanks a lot, Dick. John, congratulations. First, give me your thoughts about this huge win.
It was awesome. You know, you got to feel a little bit like we're destined. A bad snap there. They played a heck of a game, and we battled. And we've come from behind earlier this year, and I think that helped us a lot. We played in a lot of close games, and I think that served us well in the fourth quarter.
You were really responsible for turning the tide in this game with that pick of Brad Johnson. Talk us through that play.
You know, Brad, they had been hitting us with a lot of inside routes, and I had actually, they ran two seams, and I had actually bitten on the inside, and Brad went outside. I read his eyes and just went and got the ball.
A team that starts 3-4 heading to the NFC Championship game, what does that take?
I think it tells you we have a lot of perseverance, a lot of fight in us. We've got a head coach who didn't give up on what we believe in, and we all bought into that. And we fought our way back, and you know, 8 of the last 10, and to get this win, it's outstanding. And we'll give it our best shot next week.
Did a great job. Thanks a lot. Let's go back up to Dick.
Bucs win their 8th in a row at home, and if the Rams lose tomorrow to Minnesota, the NFC Championship game would be right here. We have more coming up from Tampa, but again, the final score: the Bucs 14 and the Redskins 13.
Primeco presents this very inexpensive commercial to talk about a very inexpensive way to use wireless. Now you can get a digital phone like the Qualcomm 1960 starting at just $39. And you can forget those huge monthly access charges. For as little as $24.99 a month, Primeco gives you 125 anytime minutes, long distance included. And our weekend plans include long distance too. Plus, Primeco lets you call from over 6,300 cities coast to coast and pay only 15 cents a minute. So go ahead and call. It's Primeco.
Frogs do not have the active response system. And it shows. Only the Alero has the active response system. 16 features working together to connect you to the road. Of course, if a frog wanted to know more about the active response system, this is where he'd turn. Alero, by Oldsmobile. Start something.
The steak burger of the future.
Steak and Shake.
Flowers.
Raymond James Stadium in Tampa has never been so alive as it is tonight after the Tampa Bay Buccaneers have beaten the Washington Redskins 14-13.
1 point. People are not leaving their seats. Very few people are going anywhere. They just can't believe that they have won this game.
It's a mob scene in Tampa where this incredible comeback team
has performed a comeback of all time this third and fourth quarter after being controlled by Washington in the first and second quarters. The first half was just a disaster for the Bucs, as you know, but then come the second half, the Bucs came alive.
The defense was unbelievable the second half. They came alive. John Lynch intercepted that pass, and that was it. And
yeah, Mike Alstott then with the touchdown, and then the defense managed to control the game from that point on, and then here we are. Let's go to Fox 13's Chip Carter. Chip, incredible game
oh, my
here.
goodness, Chipper.
John, this is unbelievable. Yeah, Brad, nice job again. The defense comes through, and that's basically what you've done even to get to this point in the season.
Well, it's the same thing we've done all year. I mean, you know, we saved it to the fourth quarter, and we won it in the fourth. The offense started out a little slow, but they responded when we got a couple turnovers. You know, we had an unfortunate kick return, but we hung tough, and that's what makes champions.
Talk about the effort, especially defensively here in the second half. I mean, you guys held Stephen Davis, the best running back in the NFL, to under 100 yards, and basically he did nothing for the ball game.
Well, I mean, that was the idea. I think they came in wanting to run the ball, maybe especially at me, but they didn't have much success. And that's the name of our defense. We're not number 3 defense in the league, number 1 defense in NFC for nothing. We know our gaps. We got to go. Okay. We know our gaps, and we play hard.
All right, thanks a lot, Brandon. I know you're pulling for Minnesota to win tomorrow in St. Louis, obviously, so we can come back here, guys, for that NFC Championship game, because obviously you can still hear the fans screaming. This is a 12th man, and it worked very effectively, especially in the second half, John and Kelly.
Chip, this is how you predicted this game would go, but were you surprised here in the second half when things began to really come together? Is this the way you expected it to play out?
No, I think you've got to be a little bit surprised because, I mean, Shaun King was ineffective for the first half. I mean, Washington defensively was doing some things that were confusing the rookie, and all of a sudden, I think, the turnover by Lynch gave them some momentum, because you got to realize the Bucs offensively in the first half mostly were starting in horrible field position. They had 2 drives that started on their own 7-yard line. So when Lynch picked up that ball here in the second half, they gave the Bucs not only some momentum, but it gave Shaun King some room to work a little bit. He had good field position, didn't waste the opportunity. And then you kind of get the momentum, you get some confidence, you start making some throws, and instead of throwing high, suddenly you're making the completions.
Why was it such a hard start for Shaun King, Chip?
Well, I think Washington was doing those things defensively to kind of confuse the rookie. I mean, you know, they're a veteran unit. Like it or not, he's played with some incredible poise, but then again, you got to realize there's a lot of pressure. He wasn't as accurate early as he wanted to be. He overthrew Jacques Green twice. He overthrew Bert Emanuel once. His throws were kind of high. Then, of course, he had the interception that Darrell Green picked off, so I think his confidence started to ebb a little bit. And what you want to do is just kind of stay with him. Dungy's perfect at this. Don't panic. Start calling some plays that allow him to pick up some confidence. Get him in positions where he can make some plays, which is what the Buccaneer defense has done for him all season, ever since he's been a starter. They kind of picked up and started rolling from there, John.
Chip, tell us about what you thought about Mike Alstott's run. When he went one way, he couldn't get there. He turned around and came back the other way.
I've got to tell you, that's the run of the season.
It was.
It's probably the longest 2-yard run in his career. He probably covered a total of 16 yards. You know, it's kind of reminiscent of a run he did 2 years ago up in the Metrodome in Minneapolis when he bowled into the line, popped backwards, turned, and spun that way. And I think for Alstott, it's kind of redemption in a way. You know, he's got more fumbles than any other back other than a quarterback in the NFL. But really, that's kind of a deceiving stat when you look at it, because he finishes the regular season with 6 fumbles when he went the last 7 games without fumbling the football at all. So obviously, that's going to be good for Mike Alstott, Kelly.
There he goes. Chip, I know you must have been, and everybody at home probably thinking this too, at the beginning of the third quarter when they came back and scored a touchdown at the kickoff. I mean, I'm thinking at that point, oh my goodness, we aren't going to be able to do this.
Well, you know, the common thread obviously on this team is, you know, it's not a comeback team. I mean, it's a ball control kind of offense. They want to run the football. I mean, Tony Dungy makes no apologies for an offense that basically is taken from Chuck Noll and the Steelers from the 1970s. So you know that if this team gets down 13-0 or 14-0, it's going to be tough to come back. But what Dungy has stressed all season, what didn't happen at the beginning of the year, was partly responsible for that 3-4 start, was the lack of defensive turnovers. That's part of the reason why Trent Dilfer wasn't as successful.
Now here in the second half of the season, all of a sudden the defense is starting to get the turnovers. The plus-minus ratio is going down, puts the Bucs in terms of incredible field position to start drives. Shaun King can finish those drives off because he does nothing to hurt the team offensively. He just doesn't make mistakes. I mean, tonight that interception with Derrick Brooks was a rare mistake for Shaun King.
Chip, you have to say that the defense did not have the intensity in the first half that it had in the second half. Why is that?
I think they're on their heels a little bit, John, in the first half because Washington offensively was coming up, and what they were doing gets kind of technical, but they're doing a complete shift. I mean, they're shifting everybody over. The Bucs defense would line up one way. Washington would send 3 or 4 guys in motion, completely change the thing around again, and they would start running the football. And I think the Bucs for a while were a little confused on that. Also, before they got into position, Brad Johnson, veteran quarterback for the Washington Redskins, also doing some quick counts, quick signals, where, I mean, they're counting it on one, and they're moving, and they're gone, and they're trying to keep that Buccaneer defense off balance because, obviously, they know the speed that the Bucs come into this ball game with. I think Monty Kiffin in the second half came in and made some great adjustments, and you saw what happened out here in the second half of the ball game. They came out with the attitude where we're going to be more aggressive, we're going to take the ball to the Washington side of the field, and they did that so well here tonight.
They sure did. All right, Chip, thank you very much. Let's go outside the stadium right now. Chris Field is out there.
I know, Chris, that people are ecstatic, and they're going to be out there tailgating and partying for a long time.
They have been. I'm out here with a number of 12 men and women that are so excited about what's going on inside that they just can't contain themselves because I know that like many of you who watched the game, that they really were worried at the end of the first half. Let me ask this young man here, Duncan, what he thinks about things. Duncan, what do you think about tonight's game? It was good. Yeah? Did you believe in the Bucs the entire game? Yeah. Well, here we are with one of the youngest fans, Kelly and John. I'm going to toss it back up to you because really, these guys are going nuts. But before we go, let's give it one last. Go Bucs!
All right, Chris, thanks very much.
I don't think she could hear us very well. Now, that's a crazy... The stadium is about to empty out slowly, but people would not even leave at the end of the game.
No, you're going to find huddles of people who are in hot spots. Chris is in one of those spots. There's some other hot spots all around Tampa Stadium. Most people, indeed, have filed out of here, as you can see behind us. But a lot of people are hanging on to savor this incredibly sweet victory that took place tonight and this third and fourth quarter that were just stunning to watch. I think the Washington Redskins learned that offense does not win a football game and that defense can control it and can manage it. We weren't quite sure just how Shaun King was going to be able to perform, and we got very nervous in the first half.
But he came through.
We
may want to let people know what's happening right now in the locker room because everybody's anxious to hear what Tony Dungy is going to have to say. But they have a special meeting right now with all the players, no media allowed, just the players and the coach. And that lasts a few minutes, and then they open up to all the media. And then Tony Dungy is going to come out and give a news conference. Now, these are live pictures. Actually, they're not on the field. I don't think they're on the parking lot.
This is one of these hot spots that we were telling you about where just people are having a good time.
Oh, actually, that's
together. It is inside the field here. Kevin O'Donnell in the locker room. Kevin, take it away.
Well, John and Kelly, we're right in front of the Buccaneers locker room right now. This is what we call a cooling-off period. It'll be about 12 minutes of Tony Dungy speaking with his team, giving them the celebratory speech, talking about the NFC Championship coming up. We're probably about 5 minutes away from the players coming out. Actually, we're going to be able to speak with them as soon as this gets a clearance right here. Tony Dungy will be heading down this hallway, down to the press room, so we also be able to hear his comments. But right now, obviously, these players are very jubilant in there. Unbelievable game, 14-13, the final here. Really a game of a tale of two halves. The first half, the Bucs could do nothing, trailing 10-0. But as we see, a few of the players coming out right now, but certainly a second half have carried the Bucs into the NFC Championship game. But we'll be back with you as soon as we get reactions from some of the players there when they come out here.
Kevin, just keep it there for a second, and let's see what's... can you hear us?
He can't hear us.
All right.
But apparently they're going to be coming out in a second.
Let's take a break, and we'll be back with our live coverage from Raymond James Stadium. The post-game victory celebration. Washington Redskins defeated by the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, 14-13.